What's going on, everybody? You back rocking with your boy Sweet Science. You on the air. Subscribe to the channel, beat the like button up, make sure you hit the bell icon for all your post notifications, because we're gonna talk about it. So I'm sure y'all saw the title of this video, and I had been waiting to talk about this when I told one of my subscribers that I would, even though I'm a couple weeks late as far as doing the video, I wasn't late during the fight. I actually watched the Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, Wilder Helenius card. That day was actually one of the best days in boxing in a long time, because at the same time we had the Michaela Mayer, Alicia Baumgardner fight, which was, I can't remember if that one was for undisputed or unification, but it was definitely more than one belt on the line. We had the Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall fight that day, which, oh my God, like, Clarissa Shields, like, is a hero figure in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love Clarissa Shields. And we had the Devin Haney Kambosos 2, which it actually wasn't as crazy as I thought it was going to be, because I already expected Dev to win that, just because Kambosos is, to me, one-dimensional, and I kind of figured that he would come with the same type of style, just with more intensity. So Dev would just have to step it up too, and he would get the win. So I wasn't too surprised. Now, I was surprised that Kambosos was bleeding all over the place. I think the man was bleeding from his head. Every fucking place he could bleed from above his neck, he was bleeding from. And I think Dev had a cut too, but I wasn't too surprised with that fight. But I'll elaborate on those, because I told a subscriber that I would at a later time. Right now, I want to talk about the announcement from Caleb Plant that he set the fight with David Benavidez. And if I read correctly, Plant was like, you see, I go and make shit happen. And, you know, a lot of people were insinuating in the past, before Plant lost his belt, that he was running from Benavidez. And I never thought that was the case. Now, I'm not going to lie. I felt like he was cautious of the fight. Like he maybe wasn't 100% confident in it. But that doesn't mean you running from somebody. So I never thought that he was running from Benavidez. But I definitely thought that he wanted to take his time. He didn't want to rush into that fight, put it that way. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it was a big perception, including mine, for the longest time, that, you know, David Benavidez has more power than Caleb Plant. I would almost swear that, you know what I'm saying? And I almost would have sworn that up until recently, Plant's knockout of Anthony Durrell. And they said before that fight, because one of the things that Anthony Durrell kept saying to Caleb Plant was, you got no power, you can't hit, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, that was the perception of Caleb Plant, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like pot shotting Canelo when they fought, but he wasn't trying to win that from no knockout. He was trying to win a boxing match. He was trying to get the decision. So when you're trying to get the decision, of course, you're going to fight different if you're trying to, like, really hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I think he was trying to hurt Anthony Durrell because of all the shit that Anthony Durrell was saying before that fight. You know what I'm saying? So he fought him different. But you're going to fight everybody different, because no two opponents are the same. Might be some similarities, but no two opponents are the same. You know what I'm saying? So it was the perception that David Benavidez, including mine for a while, had more power than Caleb Plant. But let's look at this. David Benavidez fought Anthony Durrell at a point where Anthony Durrell was a champion. And I don't think he had, well, I don't think he had his mind set on losing in either fight. But it was a younger Durrell. I want to say that fight was 2 years ago, possibly 3. But I want to say that fight was like 2 years ago. So he fought a younger Durrell, a Durrell that definitely didn't want to lose his belt, a fresher Durrell, right? And he cut Durrell and ultimately got the stoppage on Anthony Durrell in that fight. But Anthony Durrell was, you know, all his senses were still about him. All his senses were intact. He wasn't like drunk or like what happened or nothing like that. So, you know, he fought a fresher Durrell and didn't knock him out. He stopped him because of the cut, which I give all credit to David Benavidez for it. I'm not taking nothing away. I actually like David Benavidez a lot. I would actually like to see him fight Jamal. If Jamal steps up to 168, that would be a fucking beautiful fight. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo. But nevertheless, he gets the stoppage on Anthony Durrell by way of cut. But, you know, for the stigma to be out there that Caleb Plant has no power, it didn't look like that to me, because he fought Anthony Durrell, who vowed not to lose to Caleb Plant. He vowed not to lose to him, and he fights him, and it's not like Anthony Durrell went in there to lose. You know what I'm saying? He obviously and clearly wanted to win that fight. He had his heart set on winning, and I believe he gave a good showing of himself. He put up a good fight. I feel like the fight was in the sort of back and forth, and I feel like Caleb started to pull away, but at the point he knocked him out, yo, I don't want to hear nobody say Caleb Plant doesn't have power anymore, because that is cap. That's hella cap, because he didn't even, like, knock him out to where, like, you know, Anthony Durrell missed the 10 count while trying to get up. No, that nigga was out of here, bro. Like, that's Jesus Christ. He, like, really knocked him out, bro. And so David Benavidez didn't do that, and he's supposed to be the bigger puncher. So now I'm questioning, damn, is David Benavidez a bigger puncher than Caleb Plant? I don't know. I honestly don't know. And they're both at 168. They got bad blood between them. We all remember the video, and we all seen a video some years back where Jose Benavidez and David Benavidez go and confront Caleb Plant at his gym. And as they're all arguing and shit, Caleb Plant socks one of them in the mouth, and then, like, a fucking fight ensues. I think it was on Ellie Setback's channel. A fucking, like, brawl ensues and shit, and then Ellie cuts the camera off. So we don't know what happened after that or how that got calmed down or resolved, but we know there's bad blood there. We know they've been talking shit back and forth for a while now, for years. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's about time we get that fight. And now that I saw the performance of Plant versus Durrell and seeing what Benavidez did with Durrell, I'm not so sure, you know, David Benavidez will beat him. I definitely would have edged my pick to David Benavidez before, but I don't know, man. I think Caleb Plant has quick feet. He has a great ring IQ and boxing IQ. He's fast on his feet. I think that he has quick hands. I mean, in all fairness, David Benavidez got quick hands too, even though I feel like he squeezes into 168. But nevertheless, I'm not trying to make no excuses, or I'm not calling Benavidez a weight bully or nothing like that. But I just think that, you know, Caleb Plant, I don't know. I feel like he has more tools, to be honest. Although I feel like he has more tools, even with that being said, I feel like David Benavidez is really great with the tools that he does have. It's like, you know, you can have a guy that's average at 30 different tools. Well, not average, but you can have a guy that's good at 30 different tools, and then you can have a guy that's fucking phenomenal at 5 tools. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying David Benavidez only has 5 tools. I'm just saying that's an example of what I mean. So this fight with David Benavidez and Caleb Plant, you know, I definitely feel like they both got power now, especially. Who has the quicker hands? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'll call it even. Who has better movement? I'll give that to Plant. Who has better feet? I'll give that to Plant. Who has a better ring IQ? I've never seen David Benavidez in trouble for him to have to use his ring IQ or show us what he does in the, you know, as far as ring IQ. Kind of like with Spence. They say a lot of things about Spence, but it's like, if I can complete the job with 3 tools, why would I pull out my whole toolbox? The rest of the tools were not needed. So I don't know if we've ever seen, if that's the problem, we've never seen Benavidez in a position where he had to, like, really, you know, shimmy on a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, the fight is made. And so I make picks on my channel. I know a lot of people stray from making picks. Why? I don't know. I think that's the point of being a boxing fan, and that's the point of debating boxing. You know what I'm saying? Is making your pick. And honestly, for this, if I had to put my money on it, like if I had to put my money on it, because it's also how a fighter takes a punch. We have seen Plant stopped by Canelo. So if I had to put my money on it, I would still edge it to David Benavidez. And those guys are going to be like really cracking. So I don't know if that fight is going 12 rounds. So yeah, I probably got Benavidez by late stoppage. But I could be wrong. At the same time, I could be dead ass wrong. I could be completely wrong. Caleb Plant, you know, I wouldn't put nothing past him. He's a superb boxer. And again, you know, you don't have to be the fastest or the strongest. It's the ring IQ, it's the smarts. And he's definitely an intelligent boxer. So, you know, I wouldn't put it past Plant to win that fight. But I got David Benavidez by late stoppage. And that's going to be a great fight. So obviously next year is already getting set up to be a good year of boxing. So yeah, man, that's my thoughts on the fight. Like I said, I'm edging it with Benavidez. You can leave your comment down below on what you think and who you think is going to win the fight. And please don't just tell me how you think somebody's going to win the fight, or not how you think they're going to win, but don't just tell me that you think somebody's going to win the fight. Explain to me how. You have to explain to me why. I think too many quote-unquote boxing fans give their opinions on fights but never explain how. Like, I was at the barbershop and we were talking about a specific fight, and I asked a guy why he thought one fighter was going to win, and he said, just cuz. That don't make sense. That don't make sense. Then you're not analyzing these fighters, you know what I'm saying? So when you leave your comment down below, leave a brief description on why you think the fighter that you think is going to win the fight. And yeah, man, so yeah, we got Caleb Plant, David Benavidez coming next year. I hope soon, next year, like in the first or second quarter. And with that, subscribe to the channel, beat the like button up, make sure you hit the bell icon for all your post notifications. I'm gone.